So obviously I've been soul searching a lot. I think for me, there's like some periods in my life where I like don't think about being autistic very much and it's not a very big deal. Maybe like situations where like I'm kind of around all the same people that know me, or I'm like around a lot of other autistic people or whatever. And then there's some times when I like think about it a lot, and I'm glad that I'm sort of at a point where I'm not like bummed about things, but like I do notice things. And one thing that I'm thinking about is how it makes me a bit stressed when people make small talk before making a request. And this isn't advice on like how to interact with autistic people, because I don't know if this is a problem for other people, but for me, like my processing speed is like a bit slower, and it's a very big part of having a disability for me. um, Something I struggle with a lot is giving answers that I don't mean when people ask me a question in oral speech, because it's just really hard for me not to just sort of like say an answer, because like I honestly just need like a little bit longer to like process information and answer. And I actually have this problem where like because I read very fast, I often will do the same in like texts and emails even. Like, I'll be trying to get people to communicate with me in writing because it's a lot easier. Like it does give me like a little bit more of a delay to process. But then a lot of the time I do end up like doing the same thing. Like I'll like get an email and like speed read it and like respond it, and then I'm like, oh, that's not what I meant. Oops. So anyway, so I've got this kind of slow processing speed, and so when I'm in a situation where I can see somebody's about to ask me a question, like in like a work or school context or whatever, it's like I'm like, okay, so I'm like sort of trying to kind of get myself to attention as much as possible, so I can try to like, okay, I gotta try to respond like immediately. I have to start thinking really, really fast so I can try to like process what they're going to say. So on the other hand, I like talking to people about small talk, fun subjects, and like to me it's kind of like a different part of my brain. Like I don't feel like it really takes very much time to like think of something to say when you're just talking for fun. So like it's like if somebody comes up to me and starts being like, oh hey, how are you doing, how's your entire family, like what did you do on vacation, it's like, I could get into that, but at the same time, like if they're doing that thing where someone is doing that because they're about to ask you a question, it's like so stressful. It's like, why are you doing this? Like please just ask me the question. Like please get to like the meat part before you get to the like dessert part, because I'm trying to get ready to eat the meat. So it's like interesting. I guess I was thinking about it because I know there's kind of like this whole stereotype of like autistic people not liking small talk and wanting to like get to the point. I was also reading a really good blog, Rachel Dorsey, autistic speech language pathologist, which I had kind of like seen around for a long time, but like I recently went and like read her whole blog. She's really smart. I'm gonna link it. But she just makes like a lot of really smart points that I think like any autistic person who works in kind of like a disability like therapy or disability support, especially for kids environment, like she does really good discussions of like a lot of the stuff you're going to kind of notice, like about how even sort of relatively more positive professions like SLP, which is like obviously a lot better than ABA, but there's still a lot of kind of prejudice and like stigma and sort of like negative expectations and negative reads of autistic people's behavior, and she does a lot of really good discussions of that I really liked. Anyway, so I was kind of thinking about this because I know there's like the whole stereotype of like autistic people not liking small talk, and that's like definitely not true for me at all, but it's also kind of like if somebody like is expecting me to like answer a question, like please just ask me. Like don't like don't bait me by like pretending that you want to like have a fun conversation and then like expect me to actually like make a decision. So yeah, I'm thinking about the fact that like for me, I feel like, for example, like if I want someone to tell me what time it is and it's their birthday, like I would consider it rude to be like, happy birthday, what are you doing for your birthday, what time is it, you know, like I would always be like, what time is it, happy birthday. And to me that's like the polite way to have that conversation, but that is like completely idiosyncratic to me.